Hey guys, how's it going? JBC here for JBC Reviews, and got something cool again. Big box means big plane. What is it? It's a classic. I just had to take it out of the box because I was excited. It's what I was. But, the F-86 Sabre, made by FlyFly / HobbyTopgun. Not going in stock setup. Or stock fan I should say. What's going to make this slightly different about this review, I'm going to do a 5S power system. Most people go 6 to 8S. Why 5S? People saying, oh, you want power, you want speed, etc. I've got a heap of 5S batteries. So I thought, why not? Go 5S, go slightly higher kV. Made it with a good fan, so going to use a Wemotec rotor in the stock housing. And I'm also going to thrash out some $8, believe it or not, yes, $8 cheapo Hobby King retracts. Why you say am I going to use them? Well, I've got the $7 ones. I've got them in 4 models and thrashed them, and they are still going quite well. And another thing, the smaller ones are actually, believe it or not, the same ones that are in these FMS planes behind me and in all of FMS planes. And those things, some of these are maybe about 2.4, 2.5 kilos, not a problem. And reports on various threads and forums around the country, or around the world I should say, are all saying the retracts are holding up pretty good. So I thought, well, these other ones, bigger, stronger, beefier, thicker struts, in a plane that's probably going to be about the same weight, should do alright. I don't know, we'll find out I guess. So that's it. I'll take it out, have a better look, yeah, go through what's in the box, and I'll keep you up to date with what I'll be doing in terms of modifications to this, and then we'll go out and we'll give it a good flight test. Alright, let's go. Here it is guys, all inside, or I should say outside of the box, and laid out for you to have a look. Man, it's a big model. Yes it is. Had quite a few FMS birds, and this is a lot more work obviously to put together, but I'm sure it's going to be worth it in the end. Okay, there's the your fan unit and shaft adapter, etc., which I won't be using, only the housing, because I'm going with a Wemo, your nose cone, canopy, etc. All your little bits and pieces for the existing, what I'll probably say, are they retracts, or I don't know if that's for fixed gear or they can be made to turn into retracts. Anyway, yeah, that's it there, and all your nut screws, etc., etc. Open up. Don't think you don't get the bombs, guys, or the tanks, because they're inside the fuse. Okay. One thing about the wing, they're not a solid wing, obviously. See these little covers here? They are ribbed for strength. I'm going to be putting carbon through them to strengthen the absolute crap out of it, and also make it into a one-piece wing for strength. So I'll show you how I'll do that. Redo the hinges, of course, don't like tape, and I may even put flaps in it as well. Haven't decided yet. Obviously, yep, there's the half of the fuse and the tank in there, of course. Now these are the bits that you obviously don't get with the plane. I'm adding a pilot. This is a nose from Park Fire Plastics, which just fits straight on and gives it a little bit of a nicer finish, I guess could say. And that's why I got that. The motor and the retracts that I'll be using, your stabs, horizontal and vertical, all your decals are there. Massive sheet, I must say. Well, I guess it's a big plane. They even chuck in a parts catalogue, so you can look at all the other stuff that they make, the other planes, which is pretty cool. I don't think this is the old one. I don't think this has got the MiG 15 in here, but that's a sexy new one they've brought out, but that's not in there. And of course your instructions, which aren't too bad, I guess. You know, everything you need. But the best thing is, like all builds, take your time, find the threads, and if you get stuck, ask people. But that's everything that you get. It's EPS foam. You know, little bits of damage here and there, nothing major. A lot of guys will glass these. I'm not going to, well, not at the moment anyway, just to save on weight. But yeah, that's all there. Let's start building it and So I want to get outside and fly, fly, fly. Just wanted to show you how I did the steerable nose wheel retract while I've still got it apart now. Look, through the magic of FlyFly, there we go, haven't even glued it, makes it easier for me to show you. Just a plywood rail in there, cut out a bit of foam, glued it, epoxied it in, and on this side now I had a spare EPF DSR nose wheel, so that's the only reason I'm mixing up this one with the HK retracts on the main gear. But anyway, yeah, plywood rails in, epoxied them in, that screws to it as you can see, and a servo there, just a bit of foam cut out, servo sits in there to act as the steering. So pretty simple, reasonably strong, or strong enough for the retract, and yeah, once it gets glued together, as you saw earlier, it should look and work quite nicely. Okay, here's the one-piece wing mod that I've done, and also how I retrofitted the existing struts onto the Hobby King good old $7.50 retracts. Now, as you can see, I just used the normal stock strut. That's the retract, and I got just a little 5mm diameter piano wire, stuck it in there, fits perfectly, and the little grub screws go in there to do it up. Obviously put a flap. With the wing, these are little bits of ply that come with the wing, obviously, so glue them together, stick them in, epoxy down the center. Now as we flip it over, you'll see the carbon. What I've done is I've stuck carbon across through there. It's 1/2 mil wide, thick by 10 mil wide, a piece all the way along there to the wing edge on both sides, and one across the front. Now I had a couple of pieces left over, so I just stuck them, rather than waste them or not use them because they couldn't really be used for anything else. I just stuck them in along there and along there, and it's a lot stronger than it was. It's going to be fine now. It's a pretty solid one-piece wing with a little bit of flex, because obviously it's good to have a bit of flex, otherwise things break. And now for the retracts, how I mounted them. Okay, I just cut some plywood rails, shaped them, obviously little grooves in there because on the retract itself it's got a little bump, so fits in there, cut them to length and epoxied them in. Cut out a bit of foam obviously, and that is how it sits in there, nice and snug. So when the cover goes on, it's going to be pretty well much flush, and you can even stick some gear doors on later on if I get excited enough. And that's the last little bit of ply that came with it when you bolt the wing to the fuse. Okay, here we got the Wemo shaft adapter. I just want to show you, I wanted to point something out. The grub screw in there on the Wemos is actually not your standard 3mm, it's actually bigger, which is a good thing. Bigger means stronger. Anyway, and a little tip I can give you, instead of using, where it is, a standard bent hex driver, if you put a little hole just on the side there, it allows you to get your, oh there we go, battery getting charged. It allows you to get your hex driver in there and do it up with a little bit more strength if needed. So now let me just show you how I've done a thrust tube, so to create absolutely, or as minimal drag as possible. Now I've got the correct diameter there to fit the fan, and used fibre tape to hold it in position, and then to also hold it in position the fuselage down to 70mm on the outlet side to create 85% of the FSA. Now if I go down the guts here, you can see hopefully how I've taped up the wires so you can create very little drag there. Okay, nice and thin, and I'll just show you from the front if I can, the same thing. See if we can get in there. I'll just spin it slightly, maybe do a bit of zooming, probably not going to work, but yeah, you can see it there. So create minimal drag, nice, fast efflux, or we're hoping anyway, that's the theory. With his So here we have the FlyFly F-86 Sabre, and man is this a nice flying plane, but it does have its bad points, so let me start off with them. First up, the stock rotor that it comes with is probably not the most efficient rotor, and there's a lot better ones out there, so I'd advise to change over the rotor. Not for everyone, but it's EPS. Some people like it, some people don't. I prefer EPO. The way the retracts mate to the fuse and the wings is not the best, and it needs to have, in my opinion, needs a better system than the way it mates. That's why I installed some plywood rails. And the big Achilles of this thing would have to be the wing. It's a really poor design. It needs carbon put in it. Otherwise, for the unsuspecting builder, he'll just put it together not knowing any better, and he'll take it out flying, and after spending hours and hours on it, the first bank or hard turn, any sort of high G maneuver, the things are just going to fall off and break, and there's all that hard work down the drain. I think the manufacturer really should look at that.
Nice work.
But in saying that, it's got a lot of good points, and I must say this has to be one of the best flying EDFs I've got in my hangar. It is rock solid in the air. That huge wing really just does make it nice, and it makes it a very nice and stable platform.
Yeah, thing's moving. I didn't think it was that quick, but it's the size, obviously.
Yeah, it's like when you see a jet plane go over your head. It takes forever, but the thing's doing, 200-300 knots.
She'll glide forever. You just kill the throttle and she just keeps going, and she looks really, really nice in the air as well. The power system that I chose for it worked really, really good. It doesn't need, in my opinion, you can even get away with less power than what I had in it. I mean, she'll still fly really, really nice. Now, apart from the wing issue, that's its real Achilles. That's the only really major drawback of this model. I hope it does get addressed in future at some stage, because then it would probably make it, a perfect EDF. But yeah, if you liked the video, please feel free to subscribe. That way you'll be kept up to date with all the latest videos as they come out. And if you've got any comments, just leave them down below, good or bad. All criticism is good criticism, in my opinion. If you've got any any questions, shoot me an email, and I'll do my best to try and answer it. So, hope you enjoy the video. This is JBC, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.
Shit! Crap! Let me turn on the high rate and try that again. I go back there, man.
Oh, it's gorgeous, beautiful.